destroy them like a bunch of crazy dogs.
My camera. How about them Giants? How about them Giants? How about them Giants?
Woo! Welcome to another episode of Giants Rush, where we talk Giants football pretty much at least 50 weeks of the year. Gonna start off this show by and we got the truth actually in house. We got, of course, Joker, and we think Ryan's showing up somewhere. I don't see him in the green room yet. But thanks for piling in the room. I see you guys are piling in now. Thanks for hanging out with us. Let's start off with this. And I hope you guys hear me loud and clear, because I'm going to be as serious as I can be. Yesterday was a slap in the face to every PSL holder, every season ticket holder, every fan who took a bus or a train to MetLife yesterday. It was a slap in the face. One of the worst, if not the worst. I was there when Eli Manning threw 6 interceptions against Minnesota. I think 3 of them for pick 6. I've seen the worst games. Yesterday was up there with one of the worst games, but for all the different reasons, completely different reasons. This franchise continues to take advantage of this fan base. So I don't really have a whole lot of sympathy for anyone in that building right now. Why sell tickets if you're not going to try? Okay? If you're not going to try, don't sell tickets. Just give me my money back. Not allowing Jackson Dart to compete was pathetic. The Giants are a 2-win team. Let Jackson Dart develop. Has anyone seen, that swagger from the young Skywalker anymore? No swagger. It's gone. It left with Dable. Yesterday was sorry. And a waste of my time, by the way. 2 hours to the game, 2 hours home. It was a waste of my time. Waste of the fan base's time. If you don't want to go out there and compete, then don't sell tickets. All right? I'm embarrassed to be a Giants fan after what I saw yesterday. 6 first downs in the first quarter, all of them rushing. But Craig, they had 70 yards rushing in the first quarter. Very true. And what did they do in the second quarter? They took Bellinger out. Bellinger was playing fullback in the first quarter. That's why they had such, success with the running game. They took Bellinger out and went to one running back high, and it didn't work. Then they started throwing these peripheral passes and losing yards, killing the confidence. Where is the confidence of the quarterback they traded back into the first round for? Killing the confidence of this guy, not letting him compete. It's sorry. Kafka's sorry. And if it's not Kafka, if Joe Shane said, hey, we don't want to get the kid hurt, shut him down. Put Winston in the game and shut him down. What you did to him yesterday was wrong. It was wrong to the fan base. It was wrong to Jackson Dart. It's an NFL franchise. Go out there and compete. Do we forget we traded back into the first round for this guy? It's despicable. Everything that's happening is despicable. The franchise is a colossal failure. All right? The Bears turned it around in a year. Detroit turned it around in a year. You know what? It's been a problem for a long time. And by the way, if you don't know, Kafka is not the answer. He's been a problem for 4 years. Nothing has changed, right? Nothing has changed. We're going to do studs and duds if we can find any studs. There were some on the defensive side because guess what? Defense came to play yesterday. They had some nice moments. Burns, Debo had some nice moments. Okereke had his best game of the year. So we're going to talk a little bit about Ryan's definitely in the house. I see him there. So appreciate you guys. I see you're already cranking up the comments. I'm going to get to those. Let's bring in, which we have not seen in weeks.
You can't handle the truth.
Michael, how are you?
Where am I?
How are you, my friend?
Well, listen, you really covered everything with your opening intro. That, we've been around a long time watching these Giants play football. It's pretty dismal, I have to say.
It is. It is dismal, Mike, and you know what? And it just doesn't start with the lack of confidence they're giving Jackson Dart or not letting him compete. It was pathetic all the way around. Theo's dropping ball after ball. Slayton's dropping ball after ball. There's no leadership at the top, Michael. There's no leadership at the top. The franchise is in disarray, and they better fix it because they're killing the fan base, man. They're killing the fan base. They're like, if you play and you lose, we play and we lose. Yesterday, they didn't compete, Michael. They didn't compete from an offensive standpoint. Just put Jack Dart on the bench. I feel like they forgot they traded into the first round for this guy. It's terrible.
Yeah, they're not doing right. They're not doing right by him in terms of development. And you pointed that out. It's really I feel bad for the kid. I really do.
I know. Let's bring in Sean. There he is.
I'm fired up, and I like to see you fired up, Craig. It's nice to see you're finally on board with where I've been for the last several weeks to a month or 2 months. It's nice. Welcome to the dark side, my friend. Welcome to the dark side.
I'm flat out busted angry, man. Busted angry that I went and watched that. I'm not even kidding. I'm not even making it up. You wasted my entire day during the busiest time of year to say we're not going to let Jackson Dart compete. It's pathetic. You traded into the first round for this cat. You're killing his confidence. You're killing this guy. You're supposed to be developing him. I'm telling you, this franchise is in disarray.
Listen, the worst thing about it was I don't mind that they were trying to run. What I mind is they weren't doing anything off of the run. You didn't do play action. You didn't do anything. For example, the Rams have been running 13 personnel for the last several weeks.
Yes,
they're running plays off of that. They're doing what they need to do. We didn't do any of that. We just got away from it. And Mike Kafka, as I have said for weeks, months,
weeks,
cannot make adjustments in game. He can only stick to whatever script he has there. Yep. Brian Flores made an adjustment. He added a fifth D lineman in there, and Kafka couldn't do anything about it. There was nothing he could do.
I told you earlier today.
It's abysmal. It's abysmal.
I told you earlier today. It was clear as day. Bellinger's in the game as the fullback. They're running up and down the field. Tracy's ripping it up. I'm cool with losing, and I'm cool, with running the ball. What I'm not cool is not competing and then charging people to go watch it. Let's bring in the actual guy who knows what's going on. You guys know him and love him, Ryan Dunleavy. Let's bring him in. I love that music that he put together there. I really do like it. Especially because I'm angry as can be right now, and that gave me like 5 seconds of pleasure.
Right?
What's up, Mr. Dunleavy?
Excellent intro, Craig. I thought you said everything that the Giants fan is feeling, and that is in my email and is on my Twitter mentions. I thought you summed it up very well.
Thank you. Listen, we have fun here. We try to have fun here. I think we have a good show. People like what we do. Again, and I'm not trying to. Maybe Cold likes to call me, get off my lawn, or in the comments they call me Unk. I can't help. I've been going to this game a long time. I've been sitting on the 22-yard line, 22 rows up since 1986. I've only missed this year. In Sean and in truth, you both know this because I've said this numerous times. I have never voluntarily not gone to a game. Before last year, I'd only missed 6 games since 1986. I've missed 4 combo this year, last year. Yesterday, I took my dad to the game. Okay. My dad's 82 years old. All right. My season tickets were his season tickets, then became mine. Right. And we had 4 and we gave up 2 because of the PSLs are outrageous. I paid $20,000. Right. So yesterday hit me in a way, and I hope someone's paying attention. They did the fan base so wrong yesterday Everyone should get their money back. It is not fair to take a train, a bus, a car to that game and not compete.
Can I interest you in a medium Pepsi?
Yes. That's a start. By the way, nice segue.
Right, with the fresh haircut and the fresh digs tonight with the quirk right there, right? The
Love
quip.
Listen, I mean, I
Right.
cover the team. I'm quote unquote an insider, whatever. Like, this is a show. I mean, it feels like a Monday for the fans. Like, I'll answer whatever you want, but you guys, like to Craig's point, like, I'm getting paid to go there. Like, you guys are the ones that, like, that was.
I'm paying them. I am paying them.
Yeah. I mean, they took the one good thing they had about the team and covered him in their stench. Like, that everything about them has a stench, and it has for a decade. And they can ruin pretty much anything they touch. And the one thing that made this year different than last year was, yeah, we stink, but we have the quarterback. Yeah. We're missing XYZ, but we have the hardest piece to find.
Yes.
And, like, they managed yesterday to call into question whether they actually have that guy. Now, if you're a realistic fan, you're like, oh, God, how am I supposed to believe in this guy? They don't even believe in the guy. So maybe we don't have our quarterback. Like, and that's going to piss off the fans. But let me tell you who else that's going to piss off. Jackson Dart. That is going to piss off. He is loving being like Mr. New York, Mr. Giant, the swagger, the confidence. Like, he loves it. And now he's got to listen to this show and any other show and the fan and his Twitter and everywhere because he's plugged in. He likes to hear all the noise. He doesn't block it out. He likes it all because he lets it fuel him. But now he's got to hear that he might not be the guy because Mike Kafka decided to run 15 times. Like, no, they got to fix that fast. They can't ruin this kid's. Let me tell you what happened to Daniel Jones. You could say whatever you want about Daniel Jones. Like, wasn't that good, held the ball too long, got injured too much, kind of a, robotic personality. Let me tell you what happened to Daniel Jones. He was good as a rookie. He got neutered, and he lost his confidence.
Yep.
Jackson Dart is nothing like Daniel Jones as a player or a person, but if you do the same thing to him, you could ruin this kid's confidence too.
I'm going to double down. I'm going to double down on that because I tweeted it out yesterday. While he was taking sacks, all he looked like was Daniel Jones because he was not moving laterally. He was not moving sideways. He wasn't pump faking. He wasn't stepping out of tackles. He was taking sacks because some moron up top said, oh, my God, you're made of glass. Please don't get hurt. I may get fired. It's all a joke. It's all a joke. They traded up in the first round. Jackson Dart is a superstar. He likes New York. New York likes him. And by the way, for in case you're new here, okay, Jackson Dart, all right, he broke Cam Newton's record for back-to-back touchdowns for a rookie quarterback. No, Daniel Jones didn't do that. This kid can play, and this kid will win, but not if you let a guy like Mike Kafka. We complained about Daboll for everything. Guess who liked Brian Daboll? Jackson Dart. Damn right he did. The team.
Now look,
players.
Hold on. This is a sticky subject because Brian Daboll was a bad head coach. Like, he was a bad head coach.
But they could have kept him to the end.
He did not win enough games. He did not hold his team accountable. He was bad with clock management. He was too hard on his staff. Like, okay, he was not a good head coach. He was good with Jackson Dart. He was bad with Daniel Jones. Those two did not click.
Yeah.
They had the right pairing. I don't know what the answer is. I'm not going to revise history and be like they shouldn't have fired Brian Daboll because he was not suited for the job he was doing. But they did have something between Daboll and Dart that they're now missing, and they have to figure out a way to get back because as non-clicking as Jones and Daboll's personality is as non-clicking as Dart and Kafka's personalities are.
And that's obvious. You see it on Hard Knocks. You see it on Hard Knocks. He doesn't click that way.
hold this one thing because this is super important that I want to put up here. I'm sure you saw it.
I did. Yep. Good.
I don't know if Fire Bowen 2024 knows that he made this large significant donation, but we want to put this up here. Fire Bowen donated $50 to the show. Wishing all you guys a Merry Christmas and thanks for great content every week. Fire Bowen, you are welcome here anytime you want to come on that show. We will sit you right next to Truth and in between Ryan anytime you want. Thank you very much.
We do appreciate
Yeah, we do appreciate you guys greatly. And by the way, we appreciate all you guys. You know what I mean? If I can just continue to grow this platform, I think we do a good job. Ryan brings a lot to the table for us. We have some fun. So Fire Bowen, thank you. That is extremely generous. Well, let's do this. Let's do studs and duds. We always have fun with it. There is an intro in here, but because Chris is not here and I'm producing on the back end, I just need to find the intro, right? Let's see, countdown, truth stuff. Oh, there it is. Here we go, studs and duds. Boom, studs and duds. We start every Monday with studs and duds. Basically, we're finding like the players that look good and we're studs, and there's a long list of duds every single week. Sometimes Mr. Dunleavy down there will have like 3 or 4, right? But Truth, since we haven't seen you in a while, Truth, I'm going to start off real simple with you. No pressure. Who is your stud of the game?
Well, I'm gonna go with Mr. Burns. I think he played a phenomenal defense. High energy. Watched him. Didn't quit on plays, which I like to watch. The interior line, both sides of the ball. Relentless in pursuit. He had a really good game, and it fed off. All the other players kind of followed along with him.
They did have a good defensive game. They did. I thought there was a lot more. Well, there was more energy with that unit this week than there was the week before.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, two sacks.
Yep, he did. He did a great job. He did a really great job, and he's been doing like that the whole year. So it's really not a surprise.
Yeah, he's definitely playing at that Pro Bowl level. So I mean, that's pretty much the no-brainer. So you got the easy one. So Sean, what do you got for me? Because that was a little bit of a layup for Truth to get him.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, he hadn't been around in a while. You gave him the easy one. Like, okay, that's fair though. That's fair.
That's my fault. But I wanted to give him a layup.
Thank you.
No, that's fine. Listen, I already have like 2 or 3 options that I can consider in case my first one goes. So I'm going to go with Abdul Carter because he had a sack. He's also responsible, and the reason why Brian Burns got that sack fumble that Newman ran in for a touchdown because he took away the running back on that screen, which made JJ McCarthy delay. So he came and played another good game there. So I'm going to give it to Carter, and they're using him the right way. That spin move he put on that sack on that center was what we've been waiting to see. And they finally utilized him again in that role. They moved them around like Micah Parsons had used. And that's what we said. He's got to be used that way. So kudos to Charlie Bolin for finally using Abdul Carter the way he should be used.
I like it. You know what? And I was so angry yesterday and half.
Wait, I want to interrupt a quick second. I'm sorry because every time I give a stud or a dud, I look for and I wait to see if Ryan is going to shake his head in agreement, and I got it. So my night is made. I don't have to do anything else the rest of the night. I got the agreement. Multiple times he shook his head in agreement. I'm good. Chris,
he also
right there.
He's also responsible for Chauncey Golston's sack. He ran McCarthy right into Chauncey Golston. So you could actually give him credit for 3 sacks if you're giving him Burns, his own, and Golston's. So,
well, like we said last week, Sean, Papa Carter got in his ass and got him going because he's now figuring out whether we win or we lose. This team needs me to play at this level. So,
here's what I think he's figuring out is that being a star in New York is pretty cool. So I think he's figuring out that if he wins, he gets interviews. If he gets interviews, he gets sponsorship deals. If he gets sponsorship deals, he gets a big fat contract. So That's what I think he's figuring out. And we got to also say he did have the weird hand in the neutral zone penalty that wiped out a pick six, though. So
I thought he was offside.
Not a clean game.
I didn't think he was offsides.
I
that's
didn't
just
either.
my impression.
I didn't either, but they said his hand was in the neutral zone. Yeah.
I think because of how he was lined up and the angle, it made it look like he was in the neutral zone, but I digress.
Well, I agree. When they put it on the big screen in the stadium, I was like, he looks offsides. But again, it's a little bit of an optical illusion. You know what I mean? Like, so, I like both those picks. I got a combo pick here, and it's not like, I don't know, it's like not like really stud, but it's as close as I can find to a stud on the offensive side. Is I want to give a double shout out Bellinger and Tracy, because when the game started off, I'm like, they announced Bellinger as a starter, and I was like, what's happening? Because Theo's on the field. There it is, Bellinger playing fullback, and it's 8 plays later, Tracy's got 60-something yards rushing. Like, the two worked really well together, and in normal Giant fashion, Kafka throws it out with the baby with the bathwater or whatever that cliche is, and then you never see it again, right? Or you don't see it to the third quarter. But all the first quarter, they were running the ball so well with Bellinger and Tracy. I actually thought it was a really nice combo. Sometimes if you're not going to let the quarterback throw, then if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Just keep ramming the ball with that. But no. Second comes and they go to one back high and take Bellinger out and let Tracy do it by himself. Unbelievable. It is so stupid. So I'm going to give my stud to combo Bellinger Tracy. Mr. Dunleavy, that would leave it to you.
Yeah. I don't feel there's not really anybody I want to give it to be honest with you. I've been reduced to like looking up like Pro Football Focus individual offensive lineman pressures to see like how Aaron Stinney and Marcus Bowe did coming off the bench.
You're desperate. You're desperate.
Yeah. I'm like, what am I doing right now? I guess I'll give it to Bobby Okereke. He's had a rough season. I don't know how many games left he has in the NFL. Certainly only has 2 left with the Giants, I suspect. I thought he was 13 tackles. There was one play he made where he stopped a guy just short of the first down marker.
Great.
That pops in my head, like crunched a guy.
Knocked the pass down.
Yeah, pass defended. Like, I thought he looked a little bit more like Bobby Okereke that we remember from 2022. He hasn't really been the same after his injury, after he hurt his back last year. But a little bit of flashback from Bobby O. I thought he was kind of all over the field. Sometimes he racks up big tackle numbers, and it's like, so what, dude? They're 10 yards downfield or whatever. Like yesterday, It felt like he made it with your eye test. It felt like he made an impact.
I agree with you wholeheartedly because, one, I remember the tackle he made right in the hole where he stood that guy up before the first down. Like, right away, I was like, oh, where's that been all year? Like, it was noticeable. One-on-one, solo tackle, stood him right up. And then the pass defended, he I think, had either – if it wasn't his best game, I think it clearly was his best game, but if not his best game, his second best game of the year. So,
and I'll give you another guy I'm hard on is Newbin. Yes, Burns did the hard work on the fumble, but Newbin picked it up and scored. You didn't do the thing where you kick the ball around. So that, and on the first play of the game, he had the blitz, he blitzed and had a pass defended. I asked somebody recently with another team about Newbin, and they said he should move to weak side linebacker. So I don't know if that's in his future, but seeing him blitz on that play, I was like, you know what? Like, before I gave up on Tyler Newbin, I would consider him as like a weak side linebacker and see if he could cause some havoc as a blitzer and cover guy.
Okay. I mean, I think he's pretty good in the box.
Yeah.
He's not one to open up his hips and run with a guy or come down and thump a guy. But I think if he's around the ball,
he could come down and thump a guy. I think he could do that. Like if you let him run around
from a linebacker spot. Yeah.
Didn't somebody on this show suggest to maybe move Newbin to a linebacker? Wasn't Like me? What? I think it was me, wasn't
It
it?
might have been you that
You
put
guys
the
think
idea.
he's big enough
Was
to
it
be a
you that put the
linebacker?
idea in my head? And
Well,
I think I was. Yeah.
so that's
And
where
somebody said he was too small to play that.
was that
But
me?
I don't
is.
know, Ryan. I don't want to say if it was you or wasn't you. I just
Well,
know somebody
truth, he
said
could-
it.
So what happened? Yeah, that must have been what happened because then Thursday I texted somebody with another team and because I wrote a story on the 2024 draft class and I said, what do you think of this guy? What do you think of this guy? What do you think of this guy? And the scout replied what he thought of Newman, and I said, what do you think of moving him to inside line? What do you think of moving him to weak side linebacker? Is he too small, too slow? And so that person replied the answers in my story, and now I know that I was like, where did I get the idea for him to move to weak side linebacker? It came from you. So
getting cred, dude. You're getting cred right there.
yeah.
And
Right?
truth,
Look at
he
that.
is truth though. If he knew he could play that spot, he could put 10 pounds on.
Well,
Correct.
How much does he weigh right now?
I don't know, I'll look it up.
210, I think.
210.
It's
All right.
210, and you want him to play at 220 at weak side linebacker on all snaps or in packages.
I mean, let's call it like, let's call it like 70% of the snaps.
So basically, well, listen, it's your opinion. I don't see it. He's not big enough.
I'm not saying
He's not
it's
big
not
It's
enough.
an NFL exec who said it.
Well, it doesn't mean he's right.
We're getting
all-
lighter and faster
right.
on that weak side
Doesn't mean they're
linebacker.
always right. I mean, you're talking about where Thibodeau plays, right? Is he or
No.
who plays the weak side linebacker for the Giants right now?
It would McFadden is the weak side linebacker, isn't he?
No, he plays inside.
Good.
In fact,
Yeah, but
Well,
he's
they
not
have-
gonna.
is
Yeah,
that
but
what
he's
you're
but
referring
they're in a
to? Inside, weak side, and the inside because they
Well,
play.
right
they
now-
3-4,
I mean, it
so
depends.
he's not gonna.
It depends what you're talking about. It depends if you're doing 3-4. It depends if you're doing 4-3. It depends who else is on the field.
Right.
The idea is he would be a linebacker behind or next to the two edges. So
Yeah.
Like right now,
Absolutely, he
like
could
they've
do
got
it.
like Fox. They got like Fox playing there. They got
the idea is you would have Dex.
250.
The idea is you would have Dex,
250.
another nose tackle, Carter, Burns, and two guys in the middle, and one of them would be Newman.
And you think you can handle pulling guard?
I don't know. I don't know the answer. I don't know.
yeah.
With his
But
speed,
here's
you
what
get around it. He don't have to take it on.
Here's what I do know. He can't handle a fast receiver. So let's find out if I don't know if he could handle a
Well,
pulling
also truth, like they could play a defense with a box safety. I mean, Deion
They
Grant.
could do
You're
Deion
right. That's
Grant for the
different.
Giants.
Box safety is different than being a weak outside linebacker 70% of the time.
Yeah.
That's a different thing.
Well,
it doesn't matter because the Giants aren't doing it. So the Giants.
Okay.
We're
Yeah.
talking about an
But he definitely could
organization
do it. A hybrid linebacker type. Yeah, he absolutely
We're
could
talking
do
about
it.
an organization that's still trying to put Josh Yazudu at tackle and Eric Gray returning
Right.
kicks. So they're not doing anything that's outside the box.
Okay.
well, Sean, start with you. Then let's get the duds out of the way because there's so many of them. I had to write 3 pages of notes on them. Where are you going with your dud? Make me happy.
So I'm not going to go Mike Kafka again as much as I want to, but I'm going to go kind of a dual dud. I'm going to go with Deontay Banks and whoever decided to put Deontay Banks in the game because what are we doing? Like, have we not seen enough of that dude to know that what he's going to do when he gets on the field? I don't care that Cordell Flott got hurt. Put in Art Green. You just brought him back. Put in anybody other than Deontay Banks because you know what he's going to do. It was awful. And what did they do? They target him right away. He gives up a pass right away. He gives up another big play. He gives up a run on the outside where he doesn't play good cover. He doesn't play good run defense. And then again, I don't know who decided that he should go in for Cordell Flott, but that guy gets the dud too, whoever that was.
Well
Dude,
done. That would have been mine.
Yeah, watching him like literally get into play and have that guy run right around him, I was literally like, I must be dreaming because there's no way he walked in and just let that guy run around him.
There was a 3rd and 17 on the game-winning drive right after the Giants kicked a field goal to tie the score. It was the game-winning 14-yard drive by the Vikings. Early in that drive, it was 3rd and 17.
Yep.
And the Giants could have got off the field, forced a 3 and out after kicking a field goal, had some momentum. Maybe they go back and win. Maybe they go down, kick their own field goal, and win the game. And even though they did this, vanilla game plan, you guys don't feel so bad about wasting your time because they won 16-13. But it was 3rd and 17, and I said out loud to the press box, and it was probably, I probably shouldn't have done it, but it was just like, sometimes you just you lose your filter. I said to like anybody around me, I was like, Deontay Banks is lined up from across from Justin Jefferson. Wonder where they're throwing this ball.
Yeah.
It was so obvious. Like, of course, they're the best player and the best receiver in the NFL, maybe the worst cornerback in the NFL. Like, where do you think they're throwing the ball?
Yeah, that was rough. That was rough. So, all right, I like your dual pick there. Truth, what do you got for the absolute dud of the game?
Well, I might be breaking the rules here. I'm going to go with Kafka, calling a bad and poor offensive game plan. I just thought and you pointed it out in the beginning of the show. It just like handcuffed the Giants, handcuffed Dart. It was such a boring game plan. It was just. It was just like you said, disservice to the fans who were actually at the game.
Yeah, there was some people there. I was surprised, but watching that was, and again, Sean asked me earlier this, just so you two know. He said, if they just continue to run the ball and won the game, would you be mad? I'm like, no, not at all. I mean, like, it was about trying. The effort wasn't there. It worked with Bellinger. They yank him off the field. They're okay. You can throw, but you can only throw behind the line of scrimmage. Get the hell out of here. I mean, I can go on and on. This dude has no feel for an offensive game plan. And for all you people out there, and you know who you are, you were like, get rid of Dable. Kafka can do it. Maybe we gave him a bad shake. Maybe he's going to step out from under the shadow of Brian Dable, and this cat's going to show you how smart he is. This dude sucks at pretty much everything. Game plan, momentum, being able to pivot during the game. I don't think he does anything well on any level except that he qualifies for the Rooney Rule and that he was smart enough to go to Northwestern. Those are the only two things that I know that he qualifies for. Everything else, I don't care if it's Tyrod, I don't care if it's Glennon, I don't care if it's Locke, I don't care. We've been blaming Dable this whole time. This guy has no ability to have a feel for a football team or a football game at all. He is what's the word? Dead fish? Is that the word I'm looking for?
Yeah. Let me say one thing. Dable, obviously, now we know why Dable was hard on Kafka the entire time he was here, and he probably should have been harder on him. And I want to ask Ryan a question. Ryan, if you can't answer, I totally understand.
Well, hold on. I want to say something.
Do you want to say? Yeah, go ahead.
I want to say something first. He did do one thing. You said, like, if you want to criticize his play calling, that's fine. But his team management, he's the one you're going to remember got the most out of Abdul Carter by actually being hard on Abdul Carter. And I don't even know how hard he was on Abdul Carter, but he wasn't bending over backwards for him. He had the, cojones to actually bench the guy publicly.
Now,
so,
that's Carter. In theory, though. That's in theory.
That's not a theory. That's the truth.
Wait, hold on. No, I like where this is going, though. Was it the benching of by the hard head coach Kafka, or was it that his dad called him and got in his ass and said you're blowing an opportunity?
Why did his dad do that? Because Kafka embarrassed his son.
Yeah, but I mean, we're giving the dude a lot of credit because to me,
you're
Kafka's going to do everything opposite of Dable.
You're being hard on his play calling, and that's fair. You got to give him. He's an interim coach who's trying to win over anybody he can to save his reputation in a no-win spot with a no-talent team, and he had the the cojones to bench the rookie, the GM's prized rookie number 3 pick when the head coach making $6 million a year was just finding him privately and not letting anybody know about it. no, and then all of a sudden the guy's playing with a fire up his butt. I can't not give Kafka credit for that. I can't do it.
Sean, help me out here.
Listen, I would say that Charlie Bolin should get a lot of credit as well for
Sure.
what Carter's
Sure.
been doing, and Carter himself credited Charlie Bolin
did.
a lot for that. So I get your point, Ryan. I get it.
He'd
I
still
understand
be
it.
he'd still be
Yeah.
missing me. He'd still be missing meetings if somebody else was the head coach.
Yeah,
Kafka,
I get it.
on-
I can't
on
argue
Hard
as
Knocks.
much as I want to.
as soon as I saw
can
him on
argue with
Hard
him.
Knocks, I got nothing for him.
Well, that
He
was
is
going to
just
be my question. And
terrible.
Ryan, like I said, if you can't answer this, I totally understand. But to me, in my opinion, and from the perspective that I see it,
Phony.
it looks like Kafka, like the players are not buying into what Kafka's putting out there. And it looks like, including Jackson Dart, who does not look like he has a good rapport with him. Other guys, again, if you can't comment, I understand. If you can only give your opinion, that works. But is it fair to say that they're seeing through what Kafka's doing, and they're not viewing him as a leader? They're not viewing him as, like, they're just not buying what he's trying to sell to them.
I don't know if I fully agree with that. I don't know if I know the answer to it. Well, let me start with this. I don't know the answer to that. Like, I don't have a I can opine on it. That's all it would be. It would be my opinion. I don't know. None of the players in off the record chats have brought that up to me. I don't know. I do know that he's in an impossible spot. I think that any equity he had when it first started is long gone now. You can see this is a team that kind of just wants the season to be over. I don't know that anybody in this spot right now would be doing anything better than him. Like, if you told me Charlie Bolin was the head coach, or Carmen Brasillo, everybody loves Carmen Brasillo, was the head coach, I don't think it would be going. I don't think it's about Kafka. I think it's about a 2-13 team that wants the season to be over. I don't think it's Kafka specific. Look, I never thought again, I'm just opining. When he went on 8 head coach interviews for other franchises, I was like, oh, that's interesting. He doesn't strike me as like head coach material. He strikes me more as like schematics and smart guy, and like a perfect offensive coordinator scheme guy. He doesn't strike me as that. I feel his time with us as the media, he's been much more CEO impressive than he was as an offensive coordinator with Dayball looking over his shoulder. How he's been behind closed doors, I don't know. I do agree with anybody, Craig or whoever, said the Hard Knocks clip did him no favors.
Who's your dud, Ryan?
Ooh. It was such a meh game. Like, my dud is probably.
There's one or two here that do stick out. You might be forgetting.
I guess I'll go Theo Johnson. I mean, he kind of handed that interception ball off his hands again. Darius Slayton. I'm gonna combo them.
Thank you. Thank you.
Darius Slayton and Theo Johnson, the two biggest drops of the game. The one, Theo's became an interception that handed the Vikings a field goal, and Darius's basically killed any chance of a game-tying drive. Yeah. And they're two guys who have had drops all year, so it's just more of the same.
Yeah, that's where I was going. So I'm glad you said it, because I'm like, when you're playing with like one hand tied behind your back, you need your receivers to catch the ball. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, I can't get past the fact that Slayton got paid. You know what? My dud's going to be Joe Shane. Continually, his moves continue to bite us in the ass. Bellinger's a good tight end. Don't play him. Just try to replace him every chance you get. We don't need, let's pay Slayton because he knows the offense. Come on. Like, Joe Shane's got to go. He's my dud, because every week that goes by, you start uncovering more things that you're like, oh my God, why don't we have a kicker? Why don't we have a cornerback? Why don't we have a linebacker? Who are these guys they're introducing? They introduced 8 guys yesterday I never heard of. I'm like,
it's starters.
It's crazy.
Well, they introduced the special teamers yesterday.
Oh, is that what it was? Okay. Because I was like, it sounded like they were introducing them as starters.
Well, they did.
Special,
They introduced the starting special team unit.
Got it.
I
Okay.
actually thought that was a nice touch. I thought that whoever came up with that was a nice move for guys who don't usually get, to hear their name called.
Yeah.
So
That makes sense now.
it would have been better if they did it like as a winning team. It would have been cool. It would have been like, wow, look at these guys. Like it was very like Patriots-esque. Like, like let's get recognition for these hardworking, grinding guys. But like, it was a quarter-fill stadium at that point, and most of the guys got there 2 weeks ago. So it's not exactly like, let's reward. Who was the linebacker who played? Dude, let's reward Carter Coughlin for 4 years of grinding his butt off. It was like, no, here's Byron Murphy or Brian Murphy or what are the guys? The Colt Murphy. I don't even know what his name was. Like
Somebody Murphy.
Yeah. Murphy something.
Murphy Brown. Murphy Brown.
Right. Oh, old school cut right there. All right.
Yep. All right. Well, let's shift into the quarterback for a second. We touched on it earlier. Let's talk about just the development of Dart. Truth. Like, so we're ranting. I'm ranting because that's my thing today. Jackson Dart, in my eyes, is a good quarterback. Was a good college quarterback. He's already said that, hey, guys tried to kill him in college. They're going to try to kill him here. He's not going to change his game. You could see that there's a relationship with him and Tierney. There's a relationship with him and Daves. And now he's got this, I don't even know how to paint the picture, this paper champion that's running the team that, and he's taking everything away from a guy. Truth, like the New York Giants needed Jackson Dart. Him, Scatterboo, when Neighbors is healthy, they're the lifeblood of this team. And he's sucking the life out of it. And as Ryan alluded to, like, there's no way the kid's happy. Like, Truth, do we develop him by sitting him and letting Winston play for the last 2 games?
Because
I
believe you'll see that column in the Post tomorrow by one of my colleagues.
Okay.
Well,
wait. We don't want to give it. Do we want to say who? No.
Paul Schwartz. I think Paul Schwartz wrote that for tomorrow's paper.
Okay. Because here's the thing. Jackson Dart's a superstar. He likes New York. Ryan already has alluded to that. We already know the kid can play. We already know he's got the swag to do it here in New York. He's got a good head on his shoulders. But guess what? If you're not going to let the kid compete, Truth, let me just ask you very simply. Do you want Winston to play? Or because if they're not going to let Jackson play, it just seems kind of silly. Truth. What do you want him to see do these last 2 games?
Well, yeah, you're right. If they're not gonna let that kid play, and I understand you have to curtail his aggressiveness when he runs the football. He can't think that he's a running back. He's got to slide. He's got to get out of bounds. But if he can learn to do that, you got to let the kid play. If you're not going to try to develop him these next 2 games, then don't play him. Don't play him. It's a waste of time. Let him play.
I agree with that. Like, how is he supposed to figure it out if you don't let him play? You know what? Someone said to me.
Look at Troy Aikman when he came up, 89. They were 1-15. Yep. And he got his ass kicked. But he learned. Yep. He learned. You got to let the kid go through the good, bad times and the good times. You can't just try to protect him like they were doing by limiting his throws. I mean, let the kid play football.
Guy next to me, Truth in the stadium, says to me, he's like, "You a Dart fan?" He was a Viking fan. I said, "I am a Dart fan." He goes, "Why won't they let him just go out there and play?" He's like, "I've seen the kid play on the highlights each week." And I go, I wish I had an answer for you, sir. I'm like, I have no answer. I said, but what I can tell you is this. If they don't let him figure it out, you're just stunting his growth. If you can't let him, go through the ups and the downs, the goods and the bads, and learn the game at the pro level, you're hurting his play.
Here's
like Brian. Good. Sorry, Ryan. Good.
Here's what I would say about that. I think it was specific, at least mostly specific to Brian Flores and the Vikings. Like, I don't think that's what they're going to do with Jackson Dart this week against Patrick Graham, or certainly against the Cowboys' stinky defense. I think it was specific to this game, but I still don't like it. Even if it was specific to, I still don't like the message it sends that, like, we have no answer for Brian Flores because
because he's the best defensive coordinator there ever was. Give me a break.
Correct. I still don't like the message it sends that we don't believe in you, that like you're not smart enough to go, you're not tough enough or smart enough to handle this guy. Like, I just don't like the message it sent. And like, if it was all about like I'd have to go back and look, but like my guess is that Brian Flores has played other good rookie quarterbacks before. And like, maybe I'll do this tonight. Like, did the Vikings play the Commanders or the Patriots last year? Did the Vikings play the Texans when Stroud was a rookie? Did they
look what he did against Caleb Williams, because they play him twice.
Did the Dolphins play when he was the head coach there? Did they play any of the good? Did they play Burrow when he was a rookie? Like, my guess is if you really believe in your quarterback, you don't neuter him the way the Giants neutered
right there.
Jackson Dart, no matter who the other defensive coordinator is. That's I don't think it's the new print. I don't think it's like, oh, we're scared to run him, so this is how we have to play him. I think it was isolated to this game, which is both encouraging because it's like that's not going to continue, and discouraging because it just sent a message of like inferiority.
Well, and I forget who was breaking it down on Twitter, but they were putting down, looking at things. Dart diagnosed every blitz that was coming. He diagnosed what the defense was in. He had no trouble reading what Flores was doing, and that's what they were worried about. And that narrative has gotten out there, but he got it. He got it right. And Kafka was just, he had no answers. He had zero answers for it.
He still held, for somebody who got it right, though, I heard that too. For somebody who got it right, though, he still held I mean, he got walloped a couple of times.
But is he holding the ball because they don't want him to run?
Well, then he's got to get rid of it. Then he's got to see it faster. And
okay,
and
that I agree.
Well, and he didn't have guys to get rid of it too, because they were sending 3 guys out in a route, and there were deep routes, and nobody was getting open on those.
Well, then you got to have a hot read. I mean, then that's on the play caller.
Exactly, and receivers were not doing the hot reads too, apparently.
And
so
you got to know the Giants resievers for as long as I've been here, other than Neighbors, even going back to Sterling Shepard and whoever, Golden Tate, the Giants have never had great separator receivers. That's just not, they're always at the next gen separation, average yards of separation. They're always towards the bottom.
Well, I hope they don't stunt this kid's growth, man, because
I wanted them to trade for like a Rashid Shaheed for that exact reason. So,
okay. I like that. It's interesting. Okay. Let's talk about the fans. Yo, hang on, I missed it. Just hang on. Oh yeah. Oh, we always want to give a shout out. Where is the OG? Oh, there it is.
There you got it.
Yeah, there it is. Tuto, OG, we appreciate the donation. Thank you, my friend. Always appreciate that. Tuto's been with us for forever, talking rugby. Let's talk about, though, a little bit, guys, about so Sean, Truth, you're in Florida, you're in Carolina, Truth. You guys are watching the game. Like, do you guys even get the feel that something's not right? Because the stadium felt really strange. Because there was a young guy sitting next to me, Ryan, couldn't have been older than 25, with his girlfriend, right? We start talking about, season tickets and blah, blah, blah. He goes, I literally came here to watch Jackson Dart sling the ball. He goes, if this is what it's like, I'm leaving at halftime.
He probably paid $4 for his ticket.
Well, I don't know that, but if he did, he was gone by I don't know, 6 minutes into the third quarter because they wouldn't let the kid throw. Like, what does it look like on TV? The
same thing, the same feel you get in the stadium. At least to me, it does. Like, you could tell it was like Kafka didn't have an answer. He didn't have a counter for what Flores was doing. You could see the lack of energy on offense. You could see Dart not feeling good about what was going on. Like, it was evident, like his body language. And conversely, you could see the difference in the energy on the defense. You felt something was different with the defense. I mean, Truth, did you see that too? Or
yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you guys. The score might have been 16-13, but it felt like the Giants had no chance to come back and win that game when they were on offense. And they just didn't do anything. That's how I felt when I watched it.
Truth, when the second quarter came, we still hadn't got a first down passing the ball. They took Bellinger out, and then they started running the ball. And when that didn't work because Flores adjusted, they started throwing the ball. But the throws were all behind the line of scrimmage or like 1 yard passes. Like, it was very clear.
You got to have some margin for error, and they called a game with no margin for error. Yeah. And the error was he did have they had a 70-yard touchdown to Wan'Dale Robinson streaking down the seam, and Dart put too much air on the ball.
He did.
And he allowed the corner to have a recovery PBU. If he throws that ball with a little more zip, Wan'Dale's gone for a 70-yard touchdown.
Yeah.
That's the one. Like, you got to be able to make a mistake in a game, and they called a game they couldn't make a mistake, and that's the one that should haunt them.
Yep.
Yeah, we talked about it earlier. Just a little bit more zip on that ball, and I don't know if you saw him a little bit late because there wasn't a lot of guys in these routes, right? The one the linebacker jumped up and knocked the ball down, Theo Johnson was the only guy in the route.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's his, as a rookie, like we talked about, it's his footwork. He threw that off his back foot. The ball floated. It's what he does, and he'll get better at his footwork. It's a rookie mistake, what he learns from. Right. Like even that throw, I know I'm going to get flack for this, but even that throw to Johnson, that was a hospital ball. That was an ambulance ball. Like Johnson's got to catch it. Don't get me wrong. He has to make the catch. But if you look and watch the replay with the video, it's too high because he knows he's about to get popped. So he alligator armed it, which I can understand. He's got to make the catch, but Dart's got to make a better throw. So it was an absolute ambulance ball, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. Let me be clear, Theo still got to make the catch. Two things are true. No, watch it again. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about. That ball wasn't at his eyes. He had to go up like this, and the defender was right there.
He's a 6'5" tight end.
It doesn't matter.
Yes, it does.
He had a guy behind him and a guy in front of him about to light him up. We know this, Craig. You've been watching football long enough. You know
catch radius, dude. It's called
any other quarterback is not going to put that ball in that spot with where that defender was. I guarantee you. You're
trying to say that Joe Burrow and Josh Allen throw every ball.
He's not going to throw an ambulance ball. He's not going to throw an ambulance ball. He's going to throw it either at his chest or in his stomach against that coverage. I guarantee you, it's not debatable.
Nope. I'm sorry. We'll debate it all day.
Not debatable.
Yeah, but in your head, it's not.
Hop in, Ryan. Hop in. Did you watch the replay again?
I'm going to find the replay.
Watch the replay. See where the two defenders are. That defender that was coming towards Johnson and you can see. I don't remember, but it wasn't the guy who got the pick that was. He about
doesn't
to
remember
hit him.
that part.
You saw Johnson.
That's how I can find it on Twitter.
Oh yeah,
I will tell you this, guys. During his college scouting report, that was a bad thing on him. Him catching his radius wasn't very good.
Yeah,
I will tell you that.
His hands were fully extended. Yes, he's got to make the catch, but again, with where the coverage was, where that defender was coming down, you either throw it at his chest or in his stomach so he can make the catch as he's about to get hit, because that defender was about to light him up.
So he was worried about getting hit. Is that what you said?
He was worried about getting hit. He was going to get let up. He was an
absolute Bellinger in there for that play.
I mean, it would have been the same thing. A lot of
Bellinger fans on this show.
Well,
yeah, I like Bellinger, but the same thing would happen.
Better tight end.
Football. You can't be afraid.
But even the greatest wide receivers do the same thing when that's about to happen. Like, and he's a second-year guy. Again, does he have to make the catch? Yes, but that ball's got to be better placement too, which was also part of Dart's scouting report coming out of college. He had footwork and inconsistency issues, and that's not. I'm not low on Dart. Yeah. That's a rookie thing. That's what he's going to learn. Like, that's part of his development right there. That ball's got to be in a better placement. I guarantee. No, it's not. You just hate on Theo.
No, you got to. You have to look at yourself in the mirror. You've been defending Theo for 16 weeks.
But here's what I said. Did you hear my first? Did you hear my first words?
Yeah, but we know what you're doing there. We know it. We understand the art of debate.
And I also said Theo was going to take time, and he had some really great catches throughout. He's a 4th-round pick that we're judging as a 1st-round pick. We're judging Theo Johnson like he's Brock Bowers.
Football player. I'm not judging him as a fourth round
We're
pick.
way too harsh on him. He had to develop coming out of college. He's still in development. He's in year
We're harsh
2.
on the
he
guy.
Didn't come out as a great pass catching tight end.
No, we didn't.
We're judging him like he's Brock Bowers
Penn.
or Travis Kelce or something like that.
I get
That's
that.
all I'm saying.
think
Like
anybody
everybody else, we're harsh on. We're
Here's
harsh on
the
too many
thing.
guys. We were harsh on not us. Fans were harsh on Cordell Flott. They were harsh on Dexter Lawrence in his first season. They're harsh on a lot of guys because we suck and we expect guys to come in and make plays right away. If we're a winning organization, we're not counting on guys in the 4th and 5th round to come up.
Okay. Now let me address
Exactly, but he's not
address
Jeremy
that.
Shockey.
And
We're expecting him to be.
Let me no. That was my man Fire Bowen. Listen, here's the thing about Theo. You already had a good pass catching tight end. You tried to bench him for Waller. Then you went out and drafted Theo because to replace Bellinger again. Bellinger is a pass catching tight end. He's got better talent. But again, same thing. You won't put him on the field. You're forcing Theo to be on the field. Theo is a nice tight end. He's not a great tight end. He doesn't have catch radius. So when the guy drops a ball, you want Slayton benched, but you don't want to bench Theo. So
That's
you can't
not
have
what
it
I
both
said.
ways.
I
You
didn't
can't
say that.
Have it both ways.
I'm saying when you look at this, and if Ryan if he does find the clip,
I did. I
don't know.
found it. Yeah, I found it.
And
Three
when
things.
you watch it, go ahead. Go ahead, Ryan.
Three things. He should have caught the ball. He did. It is what you would call a hospital ball, and it's kind of a lazy route by Theo Johnson. So I would say it's all those things. Like if he runs a sharper route, then maybe it's not a hospital ball. If Dart has better placement, then maybe he catches it and it's
maybe.
And if he had better hands, he probably catches it and gets the wind knocked out of him. But it's all those things. But to me, it starts with it's not a great route. It's what you heard about Baldinger killing Jalen Hyatt for rounding off a route. That's kind of
rounded it there.
That's kind of what it looks like to me. So
listen, we all like Theo, but
he's jogging and he's not going full speed into it by any means.
Yeah.
So.
He if he needs to develop, which is fine, they got to play Bellinger. They keep forcing.
Well, it's not going to happen. You can keep saying it. They're not going to happen.
It's not. And Bellinger had some drops this year too. We all love Bellinger, but he had some drops.
Bellinger's gone. He's leaving in 2 games. He's leaving in 2
and
games.
And again, that's sad and sorry because Theo's not as good.
He's a productive player for somebody else. That's okay.
Yeah.
Right. No, I think he's a good player.
He is.
They don't. So we can argue what we want to argue.
They think Slayton's a good player.
Well,
guys that drop the ball.
And they think
Ryan, who's they? Ryan, who's they? The coaching staff you're talking about?
Let's just say the people I know in the organization.
Okay.
They think Theo's going to be a top 10 caliber tight end.
Never in a million years.
And they think Bellinger is just a good player, just another guy, a 10-year bounce around the league guy. So
I think Theo does
I think Bellinger is a good player too. Bellinger is an all-around good number 2 tight end. He does not have anything that scouts drool over. Theo Johnson has the size and explosiveness scouts drool over.
Great athlete. And that was this thing coming out.
That's what it is. I mean, you put on he pops. He looks like. I wish you could see Theo Johnson up close. He is a mammoth. He's one big muscle. So that's why they like him. That's football. You know what I mean?
They got to develop. It's going to take a little longer to develop because he wasn't used in the passing game in college.
I get what you're saying.
And he may not.
He
may not develop, but I think he will. He showed really good
we'll have a
flashes.
Gentleman.
He made some really tough catches. He made some tough catches against the Bears in bad weather. There was another game he made tough catches there. And again, I could be wrong, but this is what I see. And I think we give up on guys too early.
We're not giving up.
I think we do.
No one's giving up, Sean. What we're saying is that
he
drops 30 to 40% of his passes.
Yeah,
right?
He's dropped 7 balls this year.
We'll look it up.
Slayton does that. Slayton does that too. So he's stuck around here for
and I'll make a gentleman bet right now. I'll put $100
1.5. I'll say this, if Theo starts doing that and keeps doing that in year 3 and 4, I'll say the same damn things that I said
I
about
gotta
Slade.
wait for him to suck 3 more years.
I mean, good God, you didn't like Cordell Flott either. Remember that?
At least it was
you didn't
rookie
like Cordell
contract.
Flott. You thought he was
There's a
terrible. You're like,
difference.
Cordell Flott's not going to be a cornerback in this league. Well, guess what? He's one of the top cornerbacks in this league statistically this season. So
is a difference.
Yeah. Anyway, next thing, that's fine. I will.
No, because you don't. I will.
Listen,
we had
people.
We've had people calling.
I know.
Lawrence.
He likes to talk in
Abdul Carter a bust.
What we said.
Let's be realistic.
Look, I'm gonna turn his mic.
I'm not going to call somebody a bust in year 1.5 who was drafted in the 4th round. That's
what I'm saying. 3 things I'm going to say. I'll make it really simple. One is I said Flott will not be a corner in this league at 168 pounds because he was too small. 2, Theo Johnson continues to have these drops. He'll never be a top 10 or top 15 tight end. He just won't. He doesn't have that skill set. Is he a top 20 tight end? Yeah, probably. He's never going to be a top 10. He doesn't pop. He's an all-around good athlete. He's not a big yak guy. He drops 30% of his balls. He's a terrible blocker. He'll never be a top 10 tight end.
You're wrong. He's not a terrible blocker.
I'm sorry. Stick to being a running back. The dude can't block. He cannot block.
He's not a terrible blocker. In fact, go ahead, Ryan. I knew you were going to say something. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, no, go ahead. I was just going to read you what the scout told me from my story. Go ahead. You guys keep.
I was
just going to say, like, some of those blocks are where the running back is stretching it outside and Leo's turning the blocker the other way, blocking him so the running back can cut the inside. That happened yesterday, but it looks like Theo can't block because the running back, instead of cutting up in the hole, goes the outside. So
you're talking about the block he missed when Dart got sacked. Is that the one you're talking about?
He's gonna. You think Theo Johnson's the only player in the Giants to miss blocks?
Yeah, but we're talking.
You know who's not a good blocker? You know who's not a good blocker and why he wasn't playing? And I love Daniel Bellinger, but he is not a good blocker. He misses a lot.
Daniel Bellinger's a better blocker.
He did a good job.
Dude, they put him in a fullback yesterday, and he blocked for 70 yards.
As a fullback, but not as a tight end.
Guys, the team's 2-13, and you're arguing about which tight end is a better blocker.
Well, that's because Sean's never wrong. That's why.
Yeah, that's not true.
The team is 2-13. The team is 2-13. They could both be Chris Manhertz, and it wouldn't matter.
Yeah. All right, read us the scouting report.
The scouts said he's exactly what you get in the 4th round, a serviceable starter. The size, length, and speed to attack the seams are all things you can hang your hat on. The drops are a combination of concentration and weird hand placement. He's sufficient as a blocker.
There you go.
Serviceable tight end. I mean, what's
serviceable? You just said top 10.
Well, no, the Giants.
I didn't say that.
Think he's going to be a top 10 tight end.
Yeah, never. I didn't say that.
Never.
Well, maybe that's the problem.
From one of the
for evaluation, right?
Maybe yeah. Is that who's doing that evaluation? Ryan? Tim McDonald?
I'm just telling you, the Giants. So,
all right. Well, look,
there's a lot of people in the front office. There's a lot of coaches. There's a lot of scouts. I know some of them. I don't know all of them. So,
all right. So let's wrap this up because I know you don't want to hang out with us all night. Where are we going from here, Ryan? What's the flavor of the week? What's the message going forward? What are they talking about? Like, where are we right now?
I mean, the fans, the writers, all you're going to read about this week is the Suck Bowl. So, do we like Stinker Bowl, Suck Bowl, Snooker Bowl, Toilet Bowl, Tank Bowl?
Well, it's east. Maybe it's east west, right? Because you got Raiders.
I kind of like the Stinker Bowl. All
right, let me. You know what? Anyone that's watching the show, send. Make sure you're following Ryan on Twitter and send him a bunch of names. Yeah. Send him a bunch of names. What you want to call?
I went stinker in the game. I went stinker in the paper, but so that's what you're going to read. The battle, what's on the line, what's, analytics, who else can steal the number 1 pick? Is there any chance they can get the number 1 pick if they win? That's all that anybody really cares about this week. It's actually one of the most important games in the NFL this week. They're finally playing a meaningful game. So that's what you're going to read. As far as what I'm keeping my eye on, what the players are keeping their eye, I mean, we've talked about it ad nauseum. It's Dart. Wandale's 99 yards from 1,000. That's pretty cool. That would mean a lot to him from a personal standpoint. Burns is at 15 sacks. Can he get to 17 or something? I mean, he's already in rarefied Giants air. Once you're above 15 sacks, I think only 5 guys have had that in Giants history.
Can we name the 5?
Let's see if I can. Strahan,
Paul,
LT, JPP. Did he get to 7?
Yep.
Leonard Marshall.
Yep.
And OC.
And OC.
I would agree that would be right.
Yeah. So that's a pretty cool one. You're going to see Marcus Bowe, I think, at left tackle for the rest of the year. I don't expect Andrew Thomas to play again, so that'll be good for his development. You'll see, maybe that'll shape some opinions on what to do with the Luminor in free agency.
Wandale going to get signed?
I don't know. I don't know.
The market is already high.
Yeah, I think but again, it doesn't matter. It's hard to say any of this because you don't know who the GM is going to be. If Joe Shane's the GM, Wandale has a better shot at getting signed because he wants to prove he made a good second-round pick. If it's a different GM, then anything's open. Then everybody can laugh at me, and everybody went nuts on me. If it's a different GM, it's not a lock that they don't just pick Fernando Mendoza and trade Jackson Dart. That's just not a lock.
Can we bring that up real quick? Talk about that.
Sure.
More?
Then I gotta go.
You have time, Craig, or no?
Yeah, go for it.
I gotta go in less than 5 minutes, but I'll chime in. Go ahead. What do you got?
Well, we'll let you go first, Ryan. What do you think about that concept of doing
I think
that?
it's stupid. But I can't rule it out if they change GM. If it's the same GM, right. I wrote about this today. I wrote about it today. I'll just tell you. If it's the same GM, it's not happening. 0.000% chance it's happening. If it's a different GM and a different coaching staff, you can't rule it out. Because let's just say they hire the guy who was the Jets runner-up last year, Trey Brown from the Bengals. Who knows? Maybe he's a huge Fernando Mendoza fan, and he hires he hires, who would he know? He hires Chris Shula from, because they have a connection through the Dave Shula, and so Chris Shula comes in and he hires as his offensive coordinator Mike LaFleur, and Mike LaFleur is a huge Fernando Mendoza guy. You just can't rule it out because you don't know what these guys are doing in their other organizations. So I think it's a terrible idea, but I can't rule it out if there's new people here. I just think it's too sexy to be like, the Cardinals did it with Josh Rosen, so everybody should do it. The Bears should have done it when they kept Justin Fields and they traded away the chance to pick C.J. Stroud or Bryce Young. Yeah, it sounds nice to do. It isn't Madden. The entire organization is invested in Dart. Ownership, scouts, teammates. Brian Burns said in a story, give Darryl Slater credit. He has a story on NJ.com last week with Brian Burns about Brian Burns just losing every year with the Carolina and the Giants every year. And he's like, finally, at least it feels a little different because I believe we have our guy. He's like, in Carolina, we were always chasing our guy. So now you're going to tell Brian Burns, hey, man, sorry, that was all a lie. It wasn't really him. Now it's Fernando Mendoza.
All right, so my dumb question is this then. Why, I don't even know how to ask this without me sounding like an ass. Why can't we get the media to support this kid? Why do we have to play both sides and be like, it could happen? Why can't we just come out and say, Jackson Dart is the guy and this is the reason why? Don't we do that anymore? Can't we support the guy?
It's not my job to support them. It's my job to tell you what could happen. I
don't mean you specifically. I meant in general. Can't we have
it's not
more?
The media's job to support the team. The media's job.
All it takes is one guy, Craig. One guy to bring that kind of scenario up, and then a lot of people sheep. They're like sheep. They'll flock. They'll follow it.
It's not like I made it. It's not like I made it up.
No. I'm just saying, we know, like you just said, your statement was it's stupid, right? because everybody supports the guy. Like, can't we shine more of a light on this guy? Maybe people don't watch the games. Maybe people don't realize how hard it is to play quarterback in New York. Maybe people don't realize what he's doing or has done.
I'll tell you this: if Ryan is right about the ownership loves Dart. If I was the owner and I'm interviewing a new GM, that would be my question. What do you think of Dart? You like him? If they say no, I'm not going to even consider that guy.
Well, see, that's the problem. That's what the Giants do. Is like, do you want Eli Manning to stay as your quarterback? And if you say no, you don't get the job. Well, no, I think you got to be open. Dave Gettleman, I love Eli Manning. You're hired, buddy.
Right.
Like, you got to be. I think you got to be open. Okay, you don't love Jackson Dart. Why not? What do you see in his game that I don't see? Because I think he's terrific.
Yeah,
like,
but
fair enough. But this draft is not loaded with Troy Aikmans and superstar quarterbacks.
That's the consensus, right? The consensus is that it's not. But if you're going to sit across from insert anybody, the assistant GM from the Raiders, the assistant GM from the Chiefs, and the guy's going to tell, like, the Mahomes draft wasn't loaded with Mahomes and Watson, and Brett Veach fell in love, who was the Chiefs assistant GM at the time, fell in love with Mahomes. Basically convinced everyone in the organization to take Patrick Mahomes. And now he's the Chiefs GM because he saw what other teams didn't see. So,
but didn't Jackson, I'll leave you with them. We can, let you jump off. I'm still like the assistant guy from the Raiders that wants the job, or any of these guys that want the job have done nothing. And Jackson Dart's already proven it in New York. Did he win? No, because he's one guy. But what he's done is he's showed that he can play ball at this level in New York, and he was worth moving up in the first round for, where some assistant guy could be gone in 3 years too.
Correct. Yeah. I would tell you that Daniel Jones showed he could play as a rookie too, and it didn't work out. So
you can't force a quarterback on a coach.
If you're and again, I think Dart's the guy. I'm just saying, if you're going to change everything, then you got to be open to changing everything. So
yep.
All right. Well, we will see you next week after the Giants beat the Raiders, and we'll talk about the Suck Bowl then.
See ya.
All right. See you, Ryan.
Thanks, Ryan.
Appreciate it.
Take care, Ryan.
We are going to do one last drive where we go through all the questions for the night. I'm looking to produce this up. Where is our one last drive drop? Let me see.
Yeah, and if you got questions, put them in now. I know we didn't announce.
Yeah, if you got questions, drop them in. We're going to ask them all.
I mean, you can't. This is how we got in trouble doing that with Jones. Like, I listen. I like Jackson Dart. He's the guy, but you can't force a quarterback on the coaching staff. You just can't. You just can't.
The thing is that, and like I said, like, if you're forcing a guy that did as well as he did in the biggest market in the country, and you're just going to deny what he's done, you're proving out that, like, you have too big of an ego. Because you're grasping for something. You don't know Mendoza can make it. You don't even know if he's that good in the pros.
One year.
Listen, I'm not a Mendoza fan at all, but what my point is that we can't have ownership forcing the quarterback on the coach.
Forget ownership.
Yeah. Now, if the coach sees something different, but here's the thing. Maybe Dart doesn't fit into that style of offense that they have. Like, you don't know. And again, I want Dart here. Let's be clear. I want Dart here, but it's not out of the realm of possibility that another coach sees him as not fitting his style. And that's okay.
It's not okay.
I don't want to lose Dart, but we can't rule out guys because he doesn't want the quarterback that we have here. That's all I'm saying.
Agreed. But it'll go right back to making the wrong mistake with the wrong coach and again, hiring a guy that has no idea what he's doing, and he's new. But
he does have an idea what he's doing. Just because he doesn't want Dart doesn't mean he doesn't know what he's doing.
Listen, if it's a head coach if it's a guy like McCarthy or Kingsbury or a guy that's been a head coach, yeah, they know what they're doing. If it's Freeman or Hafley or Minter, no, they don't know. They have not been head coaches in the league. And what the problem is, the smartest coaches I remember Bruce Arians saying it, that my ego will never be big enough to say that I know how to win and this is the way we do it. Bruce Arians is like, it's more about, I see what's there. Can I adapt my system to what's there? So, because we've already got the winning formula with this quarterback. If you just come in,
But they don't have the. I don't disagree with that. But my issue is this: every head coach wants to have their guy as the quarterback. And if somebody doesn't see Dart as their guy, I'm not going to fault them for that. I may disagree with it.
It's a
100%.
possibility
every
that can happen. I agree with that. It's a
right.
possibility.
Every
You're right.
coach wants their guy, and if they don't see that Dart is their guy they don't fit the offense, his playing style doesn't fit what they want to do. And again, I'm not saying that's what I think. I'm saying this is what coaches want.
But
you gotta be able to have your guy.
Yeah,
you
but
have to be, because
Yeah.
here's the thing: if Dable was able to pick his guy and not Daniel Jones, maybe he's a different head coach. If Dable is not getting shit because he's too hard on the coaches, maybe he's still the head coach. Maybe he's a better head coach than he was.
Reed's guy
if
was
you're going to
Alex
hire
Smith.
a guy, if you're going to have a new GM and a new head coach, whoever they decide is their guy, you got to let them do it, whether that's Dart or somebody else.
Here's the big thing, though. Here's the big thing. You're giving up a possibility if the Giants have the overall pick. You're really filling your roster with talent by trading back. And like I said, for a quarterback in Mendoza, who I don't even think if he was coming out the same year that Khalid Williams
they already said if
he
they
would be
were
rated behind Jackson Dart. Absolutely. Listen, I agree with it. I don't think Mendoza is the guy, and I agree we should get picks if that's there. I'm just saying, if a coach you got to let the coach pick his guy. You can't force anyone on that guy. And you can't say,
but I don't think
well, if you don't want to
hire a
have
guy
Dart as the guy, you can't coach here if he's a great coach.
You don't say it that way.
Just
Just tell him thank you for your time. You don't say it that way.
No, I get it. But I'm saying that mindset. You can't have that mindset. This is what the Giants do. And this is why we suck for 12 years.
That's not why we
don't
suck.
do things the right way. Yes, it is.
No,
you
it's
force
not.
Daniel Jones.
You're literally saying that they suck because of one decision. You're saying they suck because of one decision.
Multiple decisions. Let me tell you why. Mara has fired Tom Coughlin as the.
We can't do a half hour on the owner. We can't.
Well, listen, I'm just saying, you talk about bad decisions. This is why we're in the decision we're in. You can't do things by forcing somebody on a new regime. I want Dart here. I want him to be the quarterback. I like what he does. I like what he brings. However, you got to let the new regime make their decisions.
Then I wouldn't hire that guy because it's too hard to find a quarterback. The difference is there's 32 guys in the NFL that have this job. There's only 1,800 guys in the NFL. If you actually find someone that can actually
what if they decide they want to trade for Joe Burrow?
Well, that's so unrealistic.
It's so different. Joe Burrow.
Listen, there's stories out there because Joe Burrow's not happy in Cincinnati. You never know.
That's exactly
what if they trade for somebody else?
Again, we're just talking about Mendoza. We're just talking about Mendoza.
Well, listen, I don't think Mendoza's better than Dart. I'm just saying you got to let the new regime get their guy, whoever they think their guy is.
Yeah, then they won't be hired because it's too hard to find a quarterback. He's a rookie this year. You're talking about he's almost a rookie next year. He's going to be removed by 4 months.
Listen, let me be clear again. I want Dart as a Giants quarterback.
It's not even about Dart, though. It's not about Dart. It's about
then you got to let the new regime pick their guys, just like you got to let them pick their coaches. We forced Jason Garrett on Joe Judge. If we could potentially force Mike Kafka on a new head coach because Mara wants continuity, whatever. It's the same shit. It's that type of decisions that has gotten us in trouble.
Let me explain at least this to you. I always I want you to appreciate what I'm saying.
I do. I get it.
Your points are valid.
To happen.
Your point is valid, though. Your point is valid, and I agree with you. This isn't about Dart. It's not about Dart. It's in New York with a franchise that hasn't had a quarterback since Eli Manning. We've been through 6 quarterbacks. Finally moved up to get a guy that's proven he can do it. It's not about Dart. To gamble on a guy who had 1 year of good college football because a guy who's never been a head coach says he's my guy. So the coach is unproven. The college quarterback is unproven. The coaches that he brings in are unproven. The one constant that is proven is the quarterback in New York. So you're going to get rid of the most important person on the field for nothing but unknowns. That's more dumb decisions by letting an ego, if he can't play my system, I don't want him. You don't want
That's not what I'm saying. If he can't play a system, what I'm saying is, listen, let me be clear so there's no misunderstandings there. I want Dart to be the quarterback. My
it's not
issue
about Dart.
is we can't force anybody on a new regime. That's the
You're right,
wrong
but
way
we
to
can,
do things.
as owners, you can determine who you want.
Correct.
I
Because the
understand that,
quarterback
but
is
then
more
maybe
important.
but then if they do that, then maybe they get somebody who's not as good, and then
Well,
we're in
maybe
the
they
same
do,
boat we've
maybe
been
they
in.
don't.
But
Again,
exactly.
And maybe they pick a guy
Right.
who doesn't want Dart and he sucks and he's
I'm
fired.
just saying we have to do things a different way. We have to do things a different way.
Again,
Point blank,
you're
period.
missing
That's
the
all I'm
biggest.
saying. It's
I
not.
got it, but you're
You're missing the biggest point. You're
No.
missing the biggest point.
No,
The biggest point is we
the
can't
quarterback
keep
is
doing
the
it
most
this-
important player on the field.
Yes, but we believe
No.
that Dart is the guy. We do
don't
not know
believe, we
for
saw it.
certain.
We saw it.
We don't know
saw it.
for certain that he's the guy. We
You
don't
don't
know
know
for
he's the
certain.
guy.
We can think it, we can believe it, but we
No.
don't know for certain he's the guy.
He's
And I want Dart. Let me be clear.
It
I'm
makes
playing devil's
no
advocate
sense.
here.
See,
I
that's
want
the
Dart.
problem.
He wants
That's
to be a
the
quarterback.
problem with-
But
that's the
we
problem.
don't know. We don't know for certain that Dart is the guy.
What else would he have to do to prove he was the guy? He has no team, no running back, no wide receiver. He's got a half an offensive line.
I
and a
think
shitty
he
defense.
is. I think he is. I'm just saying we can't force anybody on a new regime.
Then you don't
right.
hire
I don't
that
think
guy.
I don't think a new regime is not going to want Dart, but I'm saying we can't force anybody on a
I
new
don't
regime.
care who the
You got to let
quarterback
them pick
is.
their players, their guys, their coaches. Bottom line, that's all it comes down
If
to.
you have a rookie first-year quarterback that proves he can play in the league, you don't get rid of him. You just don't. I don't care what team it is. You don't get rid of him. I don't care. It doesn't have to be Dart. It could be anybody.
I'm not saying get rid of them. I'm again big
Show the
picture.
last-
You
show the
can't
last,
force
statement, right?
anybody.
What's that?
You can't force anybody on them.
Cole is putting that up there, and
Cole,
I
the
agree
owners
with
will
that.
pick someone who can develop Dart. I might
That's
be
what
wrong,
they're
but
going to
that's my
do.
belief,
Of course they're
even
going
though
to
I
do
don't
that.
trust
Of
any
But
course
of
they're
you're
going to
thinking
do
that's
that.
wrong. You're saying that could be wrong.
What I'm saying is this. There's a difference between picking somebody who can develop Dart and forcing Dart on a new regime. It's completely different. We forced Daniel
I don't
Jones.
see that.
on Mike
Yeah, I don't
Vrabel.
see that at all.
It's completely different. Here's why, and I'll tell you why.
No, I don't
Because-
think, Shawnee, I think you're misunderstanding what Craig and I are saying. I don't think they're going to hire somebody who says, I don't want Dart here, but they say, well, we're going to hire you, but you're still going to keep Dart. I think they're going to hire somebody who says, I love Dart. This kid could be special.
Yes, that's
I wanna
fine if
work
they
with
do it
him.
that way, but you can't say, hey, if you can't say you can't go into an interview and guys say, hey, Jackson Dart's our guy. Like you can't say, you can't tell them that. You can't.
But
tell
they're
them
going
that.
to, and they should, because it's too hard to
No,
fill
they
that
should
spot.
absolutely should not. They absolutely should
that's
not.
why you
As
like-
much
that's
as I
the
love
guy
Dart.
out and see what he says. What do you think about Dart? If he says I don't like
That's all
him,
you're right. Exactly.
then I would say, oh, thank you for your time. We'll see
Exactly. If he
somebody
doesn't
else.
like Dart,
Right. What do you
then he
think
doesn't
about
get the-
Dart? That is the right way to phrase it. But if they go in, because John Mara has been known to go, this is our guy. This is our guy.
All right.
We love this guy. That's what you can't do.
And
That's
truth,
my
you know
point.
what's going to happen? If you don't like Dart, you're not getting the job. That's it. All right, let's get to the. Let's get, that's
Basically, that's what's going to happen. Yeah.
And it is, and that's the right way to do it because it's too hard to find a QB.
It is not.
And
the right way to
and
do
you're going to get a wealth of picks that's going to help this roster.
Exactly.
I mean, I think that makes total sense. You know, it makes total sense.
Total sense. Yeah. Why would I give up up a guy who's
let me
done the
be
job
clear.
for the
I'm
hardest
not
position?
saying to
No,
get
we
rid of
know-
Dart.
we
I'm
know
not
you
saying
like
to
Dart.
draft Mendoza.
No,
Yeah.
but we
Yeah, we're
know-
not saying
we
it.
know-
We're just making a point.
And
It's
get
too
the
hard
picks.
to find the guy.
Absolutely. Get the picks. Get the picks.
All right, one last drive is where we turn Sean's microphone off, and then we
That's fine.
read the rest of these questions. Actually, that's not what happens. I'm going to go all the way
Fed up
back
with
to
this
the front.
organization and how they're run so friggin'
Now I have to
poorly
turn his
with
mic.
optics. Go ahead.
All right, let's see if I can
I'll
find
mute
some
myself.
questions for you guys. Let's see questions. Let's see. This trade, Dart. Nah, I hate Lou. I admire you guys for creating content for this sorry ass team. You know what? I want to put that up there because it's very nice. You, Cold. I admire you guys for still creating content for this sorry ass team. Thank you, Cold. Appreciate it. We are all sick and demented. Oh yes, we are here. And by the way, we know you guys still love it. We still love it. Even though yesterday I think I ran over like small children and dogs on the way home because I was so mad. All right, let me keep going. Let's see. Check. I'm looking for any question. Haven't seen Truth. Oh, haven't seen Truth in months. Yeah, he's back. Let's see. Where are we going? Looking for questions. I got a lot of statements. Kafka's a joke. That's not a question, but that is a true statement.
I got one from Mark B. I don't.
Oh, you
it's
found one?
farther
Yeah,
down.
go ahead, pop it up.
Yeah.
Pop it up.
Oh boy.
Why is it not showing?
Maybe where is it? I'll get it. What time?
8:47.
8:47. It is 8:47. Aha, here we go. Boom. Mark wants to know. I'll give this one to you, Sean.
Wow.
Will we see Turbo with 2 games left?
No, for whatever reason, you won't, and we should.
It's maddening.
I don't know why they don't like him. I don't understand
Amazing.
it. You got 2
Amazing.
running backs. I don't know what he's not getting, what he's not showing. He showed some flashes in the preseason. I don't understand. Yeah, I don't get it. Which is another reason why I want Joe Shane fired, because none of this, and again, or whatever coaches are not elevating him as well. Like crazy.
Yeah, I agree with
Give
that.
him a shot.
Truth, this one's for you. Is Shane keeping his job?
Shouldn't. He shouldn't. I like Shane. As a person, I like him. I like the guy, but you can't. You can't bring him back. You can't.
Yeah, you really can't. I mean, the roster decisions that he has made between the kicker, the punt returner, the inside linebacker. I mean, geez, McFadden went down and he didn't even replace the guy. You know, Adebo, all this stuff. Just, yeah, I'm with you. I'm looking for a couple other ones here. See if I can find any other ones. The shitty bowl. That's funny. Theo is funny. I got some good comments, but I'm still looking for questions. You got to. Oh, here we go. This is a long one. Me and Sean were talking about this. Bullen has done wonders for Burns and Carter. Does the new regime keep him as an outside linebacker coach? I would say that Carmen Brasillo and Bullen have done, a good, and Shane Tierney have done a good enough job to warrant, an interview and to be kept. There are going to be guys, you really got a guy in mind. You may come in here and say, "Hey, Burns, what do you think?" And be like, "Man, we really like our position coach. He should stay." He's, but you know how it is. It's like 50-50 whether they keep you. But the 3 guys that jump out at me are Brasillo, Bullen, and Shane Tierney. And I think Sean likes the DB coach.
I don't know. They can go. I mean, they got good reputations. They both were players in the NFL. But for me, it's Brasillo that should stay. I'm good with keeping Bullen as an outside linebacker coach. I know, Carl Banks and a lot of people speak highly of Andre Patterson. I'm starting to question a little bit, because if he's part of that rotation that's going on and allowing it to happen and not really pounding the table to have Dexter line up and nose more often, that I don't get. So yeah. And coaches aren't going to
like
replace the entire
15%
staff
of snaps from last year. You're right.
Yeah. So I right. Like if I'm Andre Patterson, I got to be fighting to have Dexter at nose, because he knows it. So that's my one concern with Andre Patterson right now. But listen, the guy can develop players, no doubt about it. But there's something missing, because our run defense is not good, and that goes to the D line, and he's part of that. So,
yeah, like I said, I had 3 guys was fire Bowen. I really think, hey, if you're asking me, Brasillo by far is the leading candidate you have to bring back without question. I don't mind Bullen at all. And again, if you are gonna, this whole thought that Dart could stay, but he doesn't like Kafka or whoever comes in, I think Shane Tierney's done a pretty good job with Dart too, and it looks like they've got a decent rapport. So Tierney might be a guy you want to keep around too. I've always heard good things about him. So I mean, that's all the questions I can find. You guys were funny as hell in the comments. Most of them just going off on different stuff, which is always fun. Yeah. We appreciate you guys. We'll be back here on Monday. We'll talk a little bit about.
Did you say hi to Drew, by the way? Drew had a good question. What came first, the chicken or the egg?
Oh, wait, Drew from Goofballs? I must have missed it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Chicken or the egg? Let me see. What came first, chicken or the egg? I will ask the chicken, my friend. I will ask the chicken. Is there another question in there that I missed?
No, that was it.
Well, listen, we appreciate you guys. One most important thing is Merry Christmas, folks. Happy holidays. Like, look, man, we do this show, and like Colt said, why we're still doing it. I don't know. We have fun with it. You guys have fun with it. We'd like the show to grow. We want to do more stuff. Like I said, I'm always trying to find a sponsor so I can do more stuff, right? So yeah, we appreciate you guys. Tell a friend that we're here. And it is rough. We've been complaining for 16, 15 weeks. It's like, oh my God, it's rough. But we appreciate you guys more than you guys know. We will see you next week. Truth. Anything you want to end the show with, my friend? Any thoughts of wisdom?
Some truth.
No,
I
don't have any wisdom. So that's all right.
You mean this?
You can't handle the truth.
Gotta love that. We'll see you guys next Monday.